Alright, go.
Hey class, what's up? This Sherika from Georgia swag, a little going on here. But in this portion of the video, I want to talk about extensionalism. Now, when Dr. Popa was talking about extensionalism and what it means, my interpretation of extensionalism is someone is on a mission to fulfilling their life purpose, or someone is on a mission to find meaning to life. So my interpretation of extensionalism is just that. Trying to find meaning to life via making choices or decisions that either gets you closer to that path in life or a decision that will help you be there. So it took me a second to really understand this, but the part that was most the part that hit home for me in the film God on Trial was when the father was trying to get the son to keep the faith. No matter what you see, no matter what you feel, no matter how things are going, you have to keep the faith. But the faith is not just for you, the faith is for generations. So when we're looking at faith through generations, this is what hit home for me, because it reminds me of my grandmother. And my grandmother, at the age of 16, lost both of her parents. And during that time, being raised in the South, you know, she was going against racism. She was going against denied rights. She was going against injustice. So one thing that she did was kept her family together. So every Sunday, the entire family would come together and have dinner. So this is extensionalism in hardiness. You know, taking a tough situation and making an opportunity out of it. So my grandmother was 92 years old when she passed away 2 years ago. So till this day, on Sunday, we still get together and make the best out of every situation. And we use this through faith, and we use this through family. So I'm going to take you through and let you see a little portion of the food that we eat, and let you see a little small portion of my family. So here it is right here. We're in the country in Georgia, and this goes on every single Sunday. This is how my grandmother taught us to keep the faith and keep family together in the midst of hard times. You can barely hear me probably because this is my family. We're together, and we do this every Sunday through faith. We have prayer, and then we have Sunday dinner together. So just to give you a little bit of the food that we eat, the conversations that go on. This table is small, but we'll put chairs around the table, and everybody eat. This is just some of the food that we have out. Some of it is already gone. And then you have people. This is my mother right here. She's eating. And we just sit around and we just talk and we eat. And this is family. So this is just a little portion of family, and this is a portion of us keeping faith, and this is how we do it. This is through our thankfulness for God, to God, for everything that He has done and how He has kept our family together all this time. The garden.
Let me show you some of these oxtails.
That's oxtail.
This all I have left.
That's my cousin Drea.
This is it, because they're just that good. You see my plate, when you see it in 10 more minutes, it's going to be completely empty.
And as you can see, we have the generations. It's not just the old people, but we have the young people. And we have every generation here, from the oldest all the way down to the youngest. So here is the Matt Kutcher family signing off. Thank you. Hey class, Sherika again. Now we're going to be talking about architecture, leadership and architecture. You know, what did this mean? At first, I didn't understand this class. I couldn't understand what did it have to do with leadership, but now I understand, seeing again. So when we think about architecture, architecture is the way we inhabit space. It's pretty much the way we use the space that we have. So as leaders, what is our leadership philosophy? What can we do intentionally to create spaces that will encourage the success of other people? Architectural elements can be used as metaphors And they're used as metaphors to help us learn about ourselves and to help us learn about others. And just imagine looking through your Johari window, right? And as an ideal leader, what does that look like? If you had to look through your Johari's window as an ideal leader, what would that look like right now? The most profound thing that I took from the class was the ark, and how the ark was created. It created a passageway so that people can move forward, so that people can go through, so that people can pass through. And so when I think about my leadership metaphor, that was my epiphany. That was my aha moment. What metaphor, what picture, what can people look at me and see? What do I want them to look at me and see me as? And that epiphany, that revelation brought me to one question. It brought me to the question of, how can I shoulder the weight for others that will be used as a support to help them reach their destination with ease? Okay? So how am I shouldering the weight for others as a means of a support to help them reach their destination with ease? So that one question brought me to my metaphor, which is a bridge. We have this bridge here, and this bridge serves as my metaphor because this bridge serves as a support for helping people to get from one place to the next. And when people are riding on this bridge, they don't think about whether the bridge is going to fall in because they trust this bridge. They trust that this bridge is a proper support. It's proper support. And not only do I want to see myself as a bridge in this perspective, I want to see myself as a bridge helping people to pass through me in more than one way. We have people coming over and we have people coming under. And so when people are riding across this bridge is saying, go ahead and go through. I got you. I got you. So my leadership style and my question for you is, who are you saying I got you to? Who can people say, what person can say, hey, if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't be where I am? Who are you saying I got you to? Oh girl, Sherika signing off.
Hey class, this is Sherika here. This is the last portion of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it, but I think this is something that everyone has been waiting for. And this is the wobble video. And I'm using the wobble video to talk about the drama portion, to talk about creativity, and to talk about history. Now, in using the drama portion in the wobble video, I mean, if you look at the video, you see different versions of rhythm. You see different versions of how the dance is being done. You know, but just as the times portrayed different versions of Anne during this time, you know, during this dance, I mean, you'll see different generations. You'll see different responses. But as a leader, we have to understand that different times requires different responses. And as we get different responses, what we have to see is leadership is evolving. It's not something that's going to stay in one place. It's not something that's going to stay in one time. We have 4 different versions of Richard, and we had 4 different versions of Anne. But we can't say one version was wrong and the other versions were right, or vice versa. We have to take what we saw and put it into the perspective of times. So as a leader, we can't hold people to one perspective or one way of doing things. We can't say that they're wrong and we're right. What we have to do is embrace people for who they are. We have to embrace people for how they lead. And what we can't do is make people feel like they're wrong. Make people think that just because they thought of this idea and we don't like it, that it's wrong. No. We have to learn from all angles, regardless of color, regardless of creed, regardless of age or nationality. It takes all of us. And we have to embrace each other and be willing to teach and see things from this perspective. from the creativity portion, this is self-explanatory. You know, to take a dance to a city that I could say the people that I talk to, they haven't heard of the wobble. And to use the wobble dance as a creative means of letting people in my space, right? So the creativity came from having a little space, but having something as a leader to show people who wanted something that I had. You know, they wanted me to show them something, so I showed it to them. And so the creativity was, you know, getting out there with people I did not know and using the space that we had and out there dancing and having a good time. That's the creativity in it. Brainstorming right out there on the floor. Wobble. What's up? The last portion, history. You know, Dr. Carey talked about seeing and seeing again. Now, if we look at the video at first, we just see it as a dance, we hear the music, but let's see again. You have people out there with different colors. We have people out there at different ages. We have people out there with different dance moves. I mean, everything was different. Nothing was the same. So let's just not see it as a dance. Let's just see it again and see it as something that has brought people together. Dr. Carey also talked about leaders seeing possibilities when no other leader sees. And the possibility that I saw here was a possibility to teach, a possibility to be a leader in a place that I do not know, with people that I do not know. And so that's what I took advantage of. I was in that moment. In the book, Wherever You Go, That's Where You Are, it talked about being in the moment. It talked about not worrying about what happened before, not worried about what's going to happen when you get home, but just meditating in that moment. And that's where I was. And that moment allowed me to be my true self. It allowed me to be the person that I am, to give something to somebody, you know, willingly, not grudgingly, but willingly. And that's what I did. It also talked about that in the rule, being a cheerful giver. And that's what I did. I was a cheerful giver and showing people how to wobble. And so we focus on what imagination is. It's taking something that has already been invented and give it new meaning. And that's what I did. I took the wobble video and gave it new meaning. Thank you, Lazi. Happy birthday. Signing off, Orgel. Love you guys. Thanks for everything.
Change my time.